Okay, greetings boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be comparing regional releases of Juiced Eliminator for the PlayStation Portable. I'll be comparing packaging to your left, the European release of Juiced Eliminator, and to your right is the North American release. If I find a Japanese release of the game, I'll probably include that, but for now, European release and the North American release. As you can tell, the both covers of the game are very different based on the region. For the European release of the game, it features a then new 2006 Honda Civic Si, the logo at the top, and I can't make out the cars that the Civic's racing against, but I think that one's a 350Z. Hold on, that orange one looks like a Supra, but I'm not going to be too sure. During a hospital, University Hospital, and at the back it says, "Take your risk, take the reward. Create your own real wireless crew and take on rival teams. All new multiplayer race Eliminator, WLAN, wireless LAN, 80 crews and crew chiefs. Promoting the new cars." There's that 350Z on the back. It's an S2. Yeah, I think that's an S2. Yep, S2000. I believe that is. And then just take out. And for the European version, then just take out the manual for a second. We'll look at that in a minute. Take out the game, and I'll look at that in a moment. There is artwork on the inlay of the cover. There's a red S2000 with a Mugen hood. A Clio, I believe that is, the S350Z and a RX-8 on the inlay. The disc looks like this. It's basically the box art on the disc, and all lettering is curved around the disc. There's the manual. There's some adverts, an advert for ATV, MX versus ATV on the back. And the manual is in black and white. The instruction manual is in black and white. The manual in black and white. It's not even in a different language, it's just in black and white. And now we move on to the North American release. So we'll compare the two side by side very shortly. Compare the two side by side. Now look at the North American box art of Juiced Eliminator. There's the logo at the top, but this time around, the European version's box art took place during the day. This Boxart, North American Boxart takes place at night. And the Honda Civic, instead of it being orange, it's green. And it's racing against the R34 Nissan Skyline GTR. It's teen rating at the back. It says the same thing again, take the risk, take the reward, but just have a pink slip. There's more screenshots than its European counterpart. It says 1 to 6 players, whereas the European version says 1 player. But if we open it inside, no artwork on the inlay of the cover. There's no artwork on the inlay. Let's look at the disc now, before we compare both versions, both real versions again. The artwork's the same as the front cover. There's a rating there. NTSC logo is smaller than it is on the European counterpart. But instead of the name of the game written standard text like the European version, the North American release has the game's logo. You can barely see it, but if you look up close you can see it. And now we'll have a look at the instruction manual. Now we'll take a look at the instruction manual. We'll compare both versions directly very soon, don't worry. Instruction manual, rating at the bottom there. If you look inside the instruction manual, it's still in black and white. I thought it was going to be in colour. I think the font is different. Wait there, hold on a second, boys and girls. The font is complete. Oh, wait there. 1 second. There is a different font. The instruction manual has a complete different font. Look at that, boys and girls. Look. It's North American manual. It's the European manual. It uses a different font. The artwork's all the same. It's black and white. It uses a different font. Look at the font for the European version, and now look at the font for the North American version instruction manual. There's a different font. The font is different. The layout is the same, but it uses a different font. How even the advert for MX vs ATV is different. Look at the North American release. The advert. Now look at the European one. Advert's different, but it's advertising the same game. And also on the original PSP. Advertising the same game. We've compared the manual. We'll compare the manual side by side. Now let's have a look at the discs. Let's have a look at the discs side by side. Okay. the North American release. Let's put it next to. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm going to zoom in rather than. So let's take a look at the. Close up the North American release. European release. Excuse me. The rating. The lettering is curved, slightly covering that orange Civic. THQ logo is nice and big. PG rating takes place at night. Takes place at the day. North American box art, North American disc art. Honda Civic green. Skyline R34. THQ logo is smaller. The rating is smaller. The PlayStation logo is the same, pretty much the same size. It's got Juice to Eliminator logo at the top, very small. Juice to Eliminator logo curved covering the Civic. Well, honestly, I actually prefer the European box art because it may not be as brightly coloured as the North American release, but I actually like this better because it takes place in the daytime. But this artwork, North American artwork, reminds me too much of Need for Speed Underground. It reminds me too much of Need for Speed Underground. But the European box art sort of reminds me of what Project Gotham Racing would be like if it had car customization. It kind of reminds me of what Project Gotham Racing with car customization. Anyway, before I conclude the video, I ask you, your boys and girls, your opinion. You're gonna have a look at the artwork of both versions side by side. So I'll just zoom out. So here's the here's the North American release. Now here's the European release. Which do you guys prefer? Like I said, I prefer the European version because it takes place at day. The North American version can't remind you too much of Need for Speed Underground. Plus the Honda Civic looks better in orange than it does in green, to be honest. Another difference I've only just noticed is the developer's logo, Juicy Games, is on the European version, but nowhere to be on the front of the American version, unless you look at the back. It's on the back. In fairness, the developer logo isn't at the back of the European version, it's at the front. Yeah. So speaking of the back, it has the same take the risk to reward. A pink flip, the 100 size it there on top of an RX-7. This box art is a lot busier than this one. There were 4 in-game screenshots, where the North American version only has 2 screenshots, both of which take place at night. Whereas this one those screenshots takes place at night, and one takes place at the day. The little one takes place at the day, and the middle and the second one takes place at the garage or garage. This one says 1 to 6 players. North American one says 1 to 6 players, and the European version says 1 player. 512 kilobytes. Not focusing. 512. This one, yep, same, 512. 512. So, what do you boys and girls think? Which do you prefer, the North American or European releases of Juiced Eliminator Boxart? I prefer the European Boxart because it's less dark and doesn't look like a rip-off of Need for Speed Underground. And plus, the one edge the European version has over the North American version is there's artwork on the inlay of the cover, whereas in the American version there is not. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed this little comparison of the North American European box art versions of Juiced Eliminator. Hope you boys and girls enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll be leaving some pictures of this pictures of these two on Instagram for those of you who on Instagram. So thanks for watching. Take care. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.